These are our conversations with the candidates to our municipal election of 2021 in the city of Holyoke, Massachusetts. And I am with Juan Anderson Burgos, incumbent and also running for re-election as city councilor for Ward 6. Juan, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with
Thank
us
you.
today.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It's a
So if you
pleasure.
could tell us a little bit about who you are and your reasons to continue serving as city councilor for Ward 6.
So, born and raised in this city, I've been here 51 years. I know that's hard to believe. I've been here 51 years. And growing up in the city, on a in a different part of the city, um, I felt almost as an outcast. And, it was very impactful on my life. It was hard for me to get by, it seemed. It was a little bit harder for me to get by. And it wasn't until I put myself through college and I started seeing through a different lens that obviously I moved, I stayed in the city and that I told myself, I said, I need to be part of the process to help get this city where it needs to be. And that's with my people, the Latinos, and of course, the city as a whole. How can I unite this community? And that's when I decided to run. I wanted to be that change. I wanted to bring people together, and I want to bring people together. I was brought up, the more the merrier. We are better together. With those thoughts in mind, that's where we're Holyoke. We can do so much better. We can show surrounding communities how it's done by simply just working together.
So the experience of being already member of the city council gives you perspectives on the priorities to continue working on. So right now, considering that you are an incumbent, but still a candidate because you are running for re-election, as a candidate, what are your priorities at this moment?
So I'm proud of the work that I do. And, there are things we have to look at, right? I mean, I know that there's, the taxes, that's a big issue that deserves attention. Schools, that deserves attention. But the most things that I get calls on is safety, people wanting to be safe in their homes, as we should be, right? We should be able to come home, feel free, and feel comfortable that nothing's going to happen. So, and then it comes to the roads as well. There are roads that need to be fixed. There's speeding issues throughout the city. It's not specific to the ward, but it's throughout the city. And a lot of the calls that I get are from people with these concerns. I'm gonna continue making it my priority that those issues are addressed and worked out, because a community where you can feel safe in, where you can raise your children, bring them and send them to good schools. This is a community that you want to fight for, that I want to fight for, that I want to see us all together in. Those are my priorities.
Should you continue serving as city councilor for Ward 6, what will be those priorities to continue working on in the large scale of long-term projects for the next 2 years?
So, I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, what will be your priorities as re-elected on the city council?
So my main priorities is, like I said before, lowering down. One of the things that we need to really focus on is lowering down our taxes. We are at a high tax rate, and businesses are suffering as well. And what I really want to see and focus on is bringing more businesses. and making it easier for businesses to conduct business here, because the more the merrier, as I mentioned earlier, the more the merrier, the less of the burden on taxes, and the more money we can have coming into the city that can actually even probably help to pay for brand new schools. To me, it's lowering the tax and getting those schools that those children deserve.
In other aspects of the importance of serving as an elected official is the engagement with the public, with the constituents, and this goes both ways. So is the communication and the engagement of the government with the constituents, but then when the constituents need to participate and be involved and being part of these processes. So this is overall civic engagement that it is an important topic to address. How would you encourage more civic engagement in the city of Holyoke?
Thank you for that question. So I think people get more involved when they have a sense that being engaged can be effective, and that it matters in their lives. We'll go a long way to encouraging engagement by being a city government that works together to solve problems. We should also do more to promote opportunities to get involved in many of the boards and commissions of the city. There's also like this perception among many people that small circles of the same people run most of the city. We have to do more to get a more diverse range of people appointed, because it will improve the perspectives of their work. That's just how I feel.
Talking about businesses and the economic development happening and continuing happening in the city, what are the most pressing issues facing businesses, and how would you propose to resolve them?
I've heard this. Like, I lose sleep on this one. So I appreciate the idea. I've heard discussed on a few occasions to create a role for someone that can help guide new business owners through the process of working with many of our city departments. I can't express that enough. It can often be complicated, a city should be able to pursue and make ways so it's less cumbersome than it often appears. It can be intimidating for a new business coming in. We need to make this streamline more effective, more that it helps the business. Sometimes a business gets stuck in a city department and they don't know what to do. They need that guidance. We need to create this role to help these businesses. Just think about it. Who wants to come to a city where it's hard to conduct business? And what happens? We have businesses going out, but not enough businesses coming in. And there's that tax burden issue. We need more businesses, and we need to be business friendly, and we need to help them create, through the whole entire process from beginning to end.
Mentioning some of the opportunities for improvement that the city has with processes and situations that are also part of the mission to serve in the city council. But also there is always reasons to celebrate and to recognize the work and the aspects that are working well and that are actually making Holyoke to be outstanding.
Absolutely.
So, according to your perception, what has the city done right lately?
Okay. So I've seen improvements in lives with support of programs that are bringing in more affordable housing units, and that's important. Places such as Lyman Terrace, the Appleton Mill, and most recently I was the South Holyoke Housing, just to name a few. But before I go into that, because there's actually a little cheat sheet that I have when I went to an event for the Holyoke Housing project. But before I get into that, I have to certainly, give credit to our Board of Health and employees from all of our city departments for working through the crisis of the COVID-19 pandemic. A great deal of effort has gone into balancing a safe environment when needing to keep city government going. I don't think people realize how difficult that is when, you know, you're a resident and you're trying to get into City Hall, but you can't because of all these mandates, right? So it's really hard because on the side of the residents and the employees from the city government. I truly feel, and I've sat in enough meetings where Holyoke is getting praised for all the hard work, all our departments. Hats off. Thank you so much. I cannot thank them enough. But going back to the housing, I just want to quickly read this because I got goosebumps while I was there. It says here, project highlights. A 6.5 million Mass Works grant awarded in 2019 to bring important infrastructure and streetscape improvements to the area. And this is regarding the South Holyoke homes. Phase 1, construction has begun on the 12-unit rental building with CSHI funding. The project will use project bread vouchers to serve extremely low income individuals and family. And there's just so many good things in this little handout that just, it's hope. This is hope. This is what Holyoke deserves. This is what we're going in the right direction. So when you ask me, what has the city done right lately? This, fighting, bringing the fight to the state, saying, give us money. We deserve this. We are Holyoke. We deserve this money and we deserve a fighting chance. These are the things that we're doing right. And I am honored to sit on these board meetings, to fight with the good fight, to get that money to the residents that deserve it.
You mentioned bringing the fight to the state, and this leads to our next question, which is the situation where the state is now taking the control of the school district, and Holyoke Public Schools has been on receivership for over 5 years now. Situation that is still ongoing, and there is not yet a point where we can see how this will or when this will end. So what are your thoughts on receivership?
Oh, I don't want it. I don't think anyone does, right? It's almost like, you know, you're the bad child. Go to your room without dinner. When that's not what was needed. We needed help. It's not easy being a teacher. It's not easy working as hard as they did, and then to get you know, the community was devastated. I was devastated. I don't want to be in receivership, but we're here, you know? So here's a time where we learn from it, right? Because there's a lot of frustration I see from people on this issue. How close are we to getting out of it? Are we there yet? You know, we need a more transparent conversation that gives people a sense that the city is making progress. I hope to remain on the joint committee with the school committee. The public has a lot of misconceptions. I kid you not, a lot of misconceptions about where we are because the information just isn't getting out. So we are all in the dark. Should I return? And if I'm elected back, it would be, first of all, an honor, but this is gonna be one of my, you know, one of the things, one of my goals to fight. I'll take it to the state. I'll do whatever it takes. Our children deserve better. Our community deserves better. We have done our fair share, and it's the least you can give us. Give us that chance. We need a future. We need your help. The state knows this. It's nothing new to them. So I will fight. I will fight. Sorry, I get very passionate because, you know, I feel that our children were gypped. The city was gypped. And it's not fair. In a city like Holyoke, that's 50% Latino, you can't tell me that you can't give a little bit extra. How do you expect these children to get out of this? How do you expect us? You're not giving us a fair chance. Again, I get passionate because this is one of the things that drives me. You know, like I just wish I can get a whole bunch of buses and just drive to the state capitol and stand there until they give us that fighting chance. And I'll ask people, come with me. We deserve it. Our children deserve it. Thank you. Thank you for that question. It got me here.
This is our conversation with incumbent city councilor for Ward 6, Juan Anderson Burgos, and he's running for re-election in this municipal election of 2021 in the city of Holyoke. Juan, I want to thank you for this time and the opportunity of hearing some of the points in these questions that we are presenting to all candidates in this election. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Yes. And I kind of forgot, when I get passionate, you know, I sometimes forget some of the things I want to talk about. One thing that I will leave you with, it's, you know, with all the new candidates, hey, I've been in here 2 terms, and I feel that is my obligation, because I feel that there's going to be a different turnout, and that's good. And I want to be the guidance to the new city councilors, whether they be ward specific or at large. I was in their shoes, and I want to be there to help them, because when you give the proper tools to the new people coming in, they have a fighting chance. They're going to fight along with you. And it's not fighting amongst each other. It's fighting for Holyoke. So I want to get that straightened out. It's fighting for Holyoke all together, bringing everyone together. So when this new body comes in, I want to sit down and have like a powwow and say, hey, we're going to do this together. Let's do it.